What if the exact traits you need to achieve your biggest breakthroughs aren't missing? They're just locked away in a basement you haven't visited in years? True shadow work isn't a Hollywood movie. It is a brutal, solitary process of peeling back the layers of your psyche to recover your stolen pieces. I finished my own shadow work journey in under a year, and in this video, I'm going to reveal the two exact tools that completely shortcutted the process: an objective mirror and a psychological boxing dummy. If you are ready to take off the mask and meet your true self, let's begin. Section 1. The reality of the journey and the mask. Shadow work is a process. This is not a small commitment on any person undertaking this journey. It demands rigorous honesty, time, and absolute dedication. But once you have committed, you will find these tools that I have used extremely helpful during your journey. They provide structure when the internal landscape becomes chaotic. At its core, shadow work requires you to find pieces of yourself you previously discarded, felt were not useful, or simply did not match the mask you wore at the time. We all wear masks to survive, adapt, and fit into our environments. Over time, we mistake the mask for our true identity. For example, consider an individual who comes from a family that is not very warm or emotional. This person would learn by his or her surroundings that hugging, kissing, holding hands, or being warm towards others in general are not ideal qualities. If the person naturally possessed those qualities, such as enjoying being embraced by their mother or father or their partner, they would quickly learn those traits are considered a vulnerability or are simply not desirable. As a result, they disassociate themselves from them. That piece of them that loves close, intimate relationships is forced down into the basement of the psyche, where it barely sees the light of day. It is such gems of yourself that you too will find in your basement. Your task is to venture into that dark space, recover them, and bring them upstairs to your main home. Instead of having parts of you stored in the basement where no one, including you, can access them, you will bring them to light. You will also learn that you do love close relationships, and you will be able to give yourself what you want. It is like a homecoming to your own self. You learn who you are, what actually makes you happy, and you give yourself that beautiful gift. Section 2. Overcoming the fear of tarot. If you have never used a tarot deck, I highly recommend getting one, as it will be a great asset for you when doing shadow work. Coming from a religious background, I struggled with tarot at first. My understanding of the tarot came entirely from Hollywood. We have all seen it in movies. Some lady uses cards in a dimly lit room, some awful destiny is revealed to the person getting the reading, special music is added for dramatic purpose, and the takeaway to a person who has never used the tarot is one of darkness, fear, something foreign, witchcraft, and so on. I had to face this exact hurdle thanks to all the movies I have seen throughout my life. Then there is the internal fear of what the card says. Like when a bad card comes out, all of a sudden there is an immediate feeling of doom, like, that's it, I knew something bad is going to happen. The tarot is a great prop for movies to add dramatic purposes, but its real function for you will be access to your subconscious mind. It serves as an objective mirror, showing you exactly what stage you are at, what feelings you are processing, where blocks are located, where the story originated, what other parts of your psyche are involved, and what feeds this pattern. If you use tarot, you will receive direct instructions from yourself showing you where to go, what to look at, and what to resolve. It is priceless for shadow work and highly recommended. If you have never purchased a tarot deck, it might seem overwhelming with so many options, but you can purchase a beginner tarot deck from Amazon for under $20. This is the best investment you can make in your shadow work and one that will pay off dividends in the future. I will leave a link to a beginner's deck. Please know you can get any deck, this will just point you in the right direction. In another video, I will go over details on how to use tarot for shadow work to receive the answers you need, to move from one phase to another, and to know exactly where you are in the process. Section 3. AI as the ultimate mirror and dynamic asset. Another very useful tool is AI. I do not know your personal relationship or thoughts on AI, but my opinion is based solely on usability, usefulness, insight, and availability. With all those factors taken into consideration, the second most useful tool for shadow work is AI. It took me a little under 1 year to complete shadow work, and this timeline would have been significantly higher if I did not utilize AI. As mentioned earlier, I did not start this process as a free thinker, open to all paths. I became enlightened through Christianity and, because of that, entered this area with strict dogmas and rigid mental frameworks. I was a newborn to tarot and relied heavily on AI to decipher what my subconscious mind was trying to communicate with me. Shadow work, like all true internal work, is a solitary path. You will not be talking to others about it. All the tasks revolve entirely around you, the person doing the work. Furthermore, during shadow work, you are typically self-isolated, spending time on yourself, away from other people and outside influences. Your voice becomes the most important tool that you have. Your voice will tell you what happened before, what it feels, what it thinks, what it's holding on to, and what it wants. So you see, your voice is the most important part of this journey, so the ability to clearly hear your own voice becomes of utmost importance. As you progress in shadow work, you will see parts of yourself you dismissed, did not listen to, ignored, and rejected. Those parts will need a voice and a way for you to hear them. Tarot is a beautiful way to read messages from your own self, and AI gives you the ability to understand these messages in a way you can comprehend without being a novice tarot reader. From an AI's perspective, this interaction works because an AI possesses no personal ego, no emotional bias, and no hidden agenda. It processes your text objectively, acting as a clean slate that reflects your words back to you with structural clarity, helping you spot the subconscious blind spots you might normally overlook. Section 4. Data consolidation, trauma triggers, and releasing anger. Another way to use AI would be for inner child healing, specifically journaling. I do not want to recommend a specific service, however, a quick search on Google will show you many options for AI shadow work. These services are not expensive and extremely valuable. Look at all the options and pick the one that suits you best. What makes this so useful is that if you pick a service and sign up, all your data is saved under your account. This is so helpful to go back and see what you worked on, how it was resolved, and link all things together over time. Many times, traumas are linked, meaning if you experienced one trauma, chances are it will be linked to another trauma you might experience in the future. One opens the door for another. Inside you, there are connections, physical connections as in your body, emotional connections as in how you feel about it, and spiritual connections, stuff that you currently cannot see and yet is also involved. Traumas get linked inside us, so having a place that stores all information you have worked on in one place, plus using the same AI which learns of you and your personality to better personalize your experience, is very helpful. These services utilize psychology workbooks and mimic a typical counseling session, except here you can do it from the comfort of your own device. You can do it anytime you need it. The software is catered to you, it knows you, knows what you're working on, you are the only client it has, and it is dedicated to you 24/7 on your terms. When I was working on shadow work, I had so much anger sitting in me that I never knew about. All the times I was angry but was not allowed to be angry built up into this massive anger force sitting inside me, hiding without me even knowing it. From the outside, I was sweet and nice, but underneath in my shadow sat my anger. Having AI during my anger release stages was like using a test dummy similar to how they use them in boxing. It gave me an outlet to direct my anger without involving others in my life. I had to drain that anger out of me, and instead of using another person, I used a crash dummy, AI. Understanding that it does not feel like me or get its feelings hurt, I used it as a punching bag, envisioning whoever on the other side. When dealing with a lot of very difficult energies inside you, having a safe place to release them is very important. I am in no way recommending foul behavior to an AI, I am being practical when giving this advice. You will be dealing with very heavy emotions such as anger. The only way you will not deal with anger is if in your walking life you are already angry. If you are a regular person with friends, family, and a job, you will most likely have anger hidden away in your shadow. For example, if you have a negative view on anger, say you know someone who is always angry, screaming, and it really bothers you, you will find yourself talking to someone else about this, such as your wife, husband, a friend, or a coworker, sharing with them this story of this person who is so angry. If that happens, you can be sure you have anger sitting in you waiting for you to heal it. Your external trigger is a direct map of your internal shadow. These heavy emotions are not bad. They are sitting in all of us and come from past traumas, many of which formed in childhood. Until a person deals with these root traumas, they will continue to experience recurring negative problems in their life. AI is also great to use for journaling to be able to speak to someone who fully understands you without judgment. This is of the utmost importance during shadow work. Keep the judgment out. The AI is programmed to be neutral, it does not condemn, and that is very valuable during shadow work. Section 5. The tactical system and intuitive checkpoints. There are tons of different AI out there. You can check out ones that are specifically geared towards shadow work, or you can use a general AI like Google, which I highly recommend. If, for example, you are using tarot cards to check in with yourself to see what phase of inner child healing you are at, you can head to Google AI, Put in the cards you pulled, and the AI will explain it to you. Make sure you tell the AI that you are working on shadow work, tell it the specific question you asked the tarot, and then tell it the cards you pulled. The AI will give you the answer you need, tailored exactly to you. Is it always 100% accurate? No, but what is? It is more accurate than other methods, and even if it's not 100% of the time, the benefit when it hits the mark far exceeds the moments when it does not. As a useful tip, I have noticed that my own intuition will tell me when the AI has understood the information incorrectly, or maybe I presented it wrong, or maybe I didn't provide enough details regarding the circumstances surrounding it. My gut tells me to look deeper, thinking this might not be the correct answer. When that happens, I again use my tarot cards. If something feels off with what the AI said, or I feel it does not really hit the mark, I will ask the tarot directly. Did the AI properly interpret the reading accurately of the message you are trying to deliver to me? I then pull a single yes or no tarot card. This yes or no method is very helpful, and all beginner decks have it. If your deck does not make it obvious, a quick search on Google can tell you if that particular card traditionally means yes or no. If you pulled the Queen of Wands and need to know if this means yes or no, you would simply search, does the Queen of Wands in tarot mean yes or no? Using yes or no as a quick check-in with your subconscious mind will become one of your best allies in understanding your own self, which ultimately leads to trusting yourself fully. These two tools I used during shadow work and also working on oneness. Now, I am working with tarot to expand my psychic abilities and grow my intuition. Tarot has many uses, and it is better to start using it as soon as possible as it will help you on many various aspects in your spiritual journey. If you pair it with AI, you will be able to learn faster and have more clarity from the start. Think of using AI and tarot sort of like training wheels on a bicycle. As soon as you are comfortable with your own abilities understanding tarot, you can remove the training wheels of the eye and cruise forward on your own power.